A pretty boring session for the markets, you'd have to say, after yesterday's holiday. You had it with a negative bias by the end of the session, so we lost out 17 points on the Nifty, 70 points off for the Sensex. The broader markets too didn't show you any sheen, so you had the mid-cap index and the small-cap index also, which ended flat with a mild positive bias. It was the FMCG as well as the metal pack which was a big drag on the index all throughout. On the flip side, though, you had capital goods as well as the oil and gas index, which managed to eke out again. Some of the big index losers, ITC, lost out heavily as IDFC cut its rating to underperformer with a target of 244, saying that the global tobacco industry faces a systemic risk. It was all metals, so you had the likes of Sterlite, Hindalco, Tata Steel, which lost out given the sentimental reaction to the CAG report on coal, which is being tabled today. But all in all, let's find out how the F&O activity shaped up on a lackluster Thursday. Navneet Saluja is standing by. Navneet.
Hi Avan, if you look at the Nifty August futures, they almost closed at the low point of the day at around 53.81. Remember, they opened above the 5400 level, so high point of the day was about 54.10. And during the day, you saw built up of close to 16 lakh shares. On the option side, if you look at the Nifty PCR, that fell sharply today to around 1.16 versus the previous closing of 1.21, clearly indicating there was a lot of call writing in the system today. So if you look at strikes like 5400, that added about 8.7 lakh shares. Also strikes like 5600 adding close to 6 lakh shares, and 5500 call strike added 4 lakh shares in today's trading session. On the put side, you saw a lot of unwinding. Strike like 5000 shed about 2.6 lakh shares, and little bit of addition was seen at 5300, which added about 2 lakh shares. On the stock futures front, among the Nifty gainers, you had counters like IDFC, which reacted positively to its numbers. So fresh longs were seen there. Rinbaxi too was up and about in today's trading session, but that was more got to do with short covering. And you had some of the auto counters like Hero Motocorp and Mahindra, which did well for themselves in today's trading session. So we saw fresh long positions for these two counters. Clearly, ITC was under pressure throughout the day after the downgrade coming in from IDFC, so fresh shorts were seen there, and it was the metals pack which was under pressure. So you had counters like Sterlite, Goa, Hindalco, which witnessed fresh short positions. From the mid-cap space, you had Jain Irrigation, which fell sharply in today's trading session. Huge amount of short positions were being built up, and Divi and Tech Mahindra did well, so fresh longs were seen there. And if you look at the open interest addition, major addition was seen in counters like Sun TV, where open interest shot up by 45%. You also had Lupin and followed by Divi's Laboratories. And in terms of turnover, it was lesser than what we recorded on Tuesday. On NSE, we recorded about over 84,000 crore of turnover by the end of today. Back to you.
Okay, thanks very much, Navneet, for giving us all of that data in the F&O space. To some of the result reactions which came out on Tuesday evening, you had IDFC, that counter got a good set of numbers. The profits were higher by 4% at 379 crore, by 21%, pardon me, at 370 odd crore rupees. You had the NII, which also shot up by a good 30%, and the counter on a tear today. On the flip side, though, Jain Irrigation disappointed, and how. It was almost 8.5% that the street gave it, so a big thumbs down to its numbers. The loss came in at 16.8 crores this time versus a profit of 82 crores. Revenues declined. It was high interest costs which really weighed down on the margin picture, which was off by 300 basis points. Orchid Chemicals too didn't receive a good reaction to its numbers. It was a loss this time around of 50.8 crores versus a profit of 15 on the last year. And you had the top line also, which was lower by 15.5% at 316 crores. The sugar basket wasn't too thrilled with the quarterly numbers put out. Start off with Sri Renuka Sugars. 13 crores was the kind of profit it clocked in, so that's lower by 33%. Bajaj Hindustan also, their profits, it was clocked in a loss this time around at 76 crore rupees versus a profit of 1.15 crore rupees. So the street clearly giving it a thumbs down. But meantime, the markets have managed to sustain at a level of 53.50 for today. But despite all the talk of the policy action, sentiment continues in action. The sentiment continues to look resilient.